This is Eurovision 365. I am Padraig and you are very welcome. Regardless of whether you are a new or returning viewer, thanks so much for stopping by. This year saw Switzerland winning the competition, their first victory since 1988. In this video, I wanted to look at the performance in Malmö, the jury voting and the public vote, and hopefully answer the question, how did Nemo and Switzerland win Eurovision 2024? I have made a video which explores in detail my thoughts around Nemo, the song and their chances of winning, so I don't want to cover too much old ground. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. It gives a good overview of my thoughts around the song, the act and the music video, and also includes a brief look at Switzerland's recent history at the competition. Switzerland's redemption arc could be said to have started in 2019, with Luca Hänni coming in 4th place in Tel Aviv, and then in 2021 Jean's Tears made it into the final split screen, with Måneskin scoring a very respectable 3rd place. 2022 and 2023 both saw more qualifications, although 17th and 20th place respectively probably wasn't what Swiss fans were hoping for. This year, Switzerland promised us the end of the sad boy ballad. 2 years in a row, Switzerland presented a slow, mournful song from a male singer, namely Boys Do Cry and Watergun. And you could also include Jean's Tears in there as well, with Tout l'Univers. Yeah, while all of these artists successfully made it to the final, Switzerland decided that change was needed, and this came in the form of singer-songwriter Nemo from Biel. As I said, I have already made a video charting Nemo's journey to Eurovision and the build-up from the music video to my reaction to the song. In this video, I want to focus on Nemo's Eurovision performance more specifically. The early press shots from the first rehearsals showed Nemo in a fluffy coat and ankle bands traversing a spinning platform. The performance in Malmö was simplistic yet involved a degree of complexity at the same time. It was heavily littered with metaphor, and some of the themes skillfully worked into the music video have been carried over here. The humdrum, the monotony and the difficulty in scaling the structure, the spinning top, could be said to represent life, with its apparent binary of only 2 directions, going up and down. Nemo before the live shows had decided to scale back the costume, removing the ankle bands, which I think was a good decision as it streamlined the costume more. As the performance goes on, Nemo jumps on and off the platform. This could be said to represent Nemo slipping in and out of everyday life. Sometimes as LGBT+ people we can feel disconnected from those around us, feeling lonely and somewhat apart from what others are going through, although we can't often put words to it. This is a simple yet clever idea. Finally, Nemo finds a way to accept themselves and life, realizing that not only can they coexist, but they can actually live well. Nemo has discovered a way to live, thrive and enjoy life. There is up and down, on and off, but there is also a way to ride it as it spins around. Control can be thoroughly surrendered as the code is finally broken, and what exists at the very end is not just acceptance, but bliss. This works on a number of levels. It is a simple visual metaphor and easy to understand. Less certainly is more, and Nemo decided to tell their story with a simple prop that wasn't overwhelming, allowing the focus to be on Nemo and the performance. I must also acknowledge the impressive physical skill employed by Nemo. I was fortunate enough to be up close while the song was being performed. The platform spins quite quickly and Nemo doesn't have magnets in their shoes, which means they have to concentrate on balancing on the platform while performing a physically demanding song, remembering to hit certain camera marks. There is also a physical daring in the performance, which surely translated into points. Nemo clearly demonstrated their vocal and technical abilities to deliver an expertly crafted performance that stayed in the viewer's consciousness long after the song was over. I also have to mention the other 2 performers, clad in black and unseen to the TV viewer, who were moving the platform up and down. They had some very tricky marks to hit as well. Setting visual metaphors aside, Nemo's performance and song are highly accessible. Without knowing Nemo's story, viewers of all ages can connect with the performance. The Code is a very accessible song, and even right-leaning UK newspaper The Telegraph declared Nemo's song a Eurovision rarity in that it was actually great. Wow! Whatever your politics, no one can deny how technically brilliant and engaging a song like The Code actually is. It successfully blends several musical styles into a slick and very original 3-minute package. Turning to the performer themselves, Nemo played an absolute blinder, becoming a very popular and indeed likeable performer. At the Eurovision in Concert Amsterdam press event, people were queuing up for an hour to speak with them. Nemo has a kind, bright energy, and it was a joy to bump into them in Malmö, which we did on several occasions. I even had a nice moment after Nemo's win where we briefly chatted about Taya and Selena from Austria 2023. Nemo made time for everyone and was gracious and popular. Nemo is arguably one of the most well-known and influential non-binary people on the planet, following their journey to and victory in Malmö. As the votes came in from the jury, it became very clear that Nemo had been a runaway success with the juries. 21 out of the 37 voting nations had given Nemo and Switzerland the maximum 12 points. This is over half of the voting nations. To put this in context, 15 out of 37 nations gave winner Loreen and Sweden the magical 12 points last year, and in 2022 just 5 juries gave eventual victors Kalush Orchestra and Ukraine 12 points. So it became clear that Nemo was running away with the competition from a very early stage. Nemo's challenge was always going to come from the public. They had finished up in 4th position in their semi-final, so this meant that the public perhaps were not connecting in the same way that the musical professionals had. By the end of the jury voting, Nemo was in 1st place with 365 points, so they were in a good place going into the televote. Last year, Loreen had 340 points after the jury voting, so if you're in the high 300s, it certainly means that you have less of a mountain to climb. Croatia, in contrast, had 210 points from the juries. Finland, to compare in 2023, had 150 jury points, so it seemed that Baby Lasagna would need fewer points from the public to make up the shortfall. In the end, it was 44 points that separated Nemo and Marco. Just 4 more 12 points from the public or jury could have clinched it for Croatia. So overall, Nemo was not the runaway winner, and was very much the juries of musical professionals that sent Nemo to the top of the scoreboard and crowned them the victor of Eurovision 2024. After the contest, I was fortunate enough to ask Nemo a question, and I asked how it felt to be part of such an exclusive trio of Swiss winners, namely Lisa, the first ever victor in 1956, and Celine Dion, and now Nemo. Nemo understandably felt humbled and honoured to be included in this list, but also took the time to shine the light on all the Swiss artists and praise the music scene. This humble display showed that Nemo was intent on making the moment about more than just themselves. Many of us may not have known non-binary people before, but thanks to this year's contest, the light has firmly been shone on them. Nemo has been a great representative for the community and has been a focal and visible symbol for other people perhaps struggling to find their place in this world. Following its Eurovision victory, the song soared up no less than 30 countries' Spotify daily charts. The Code hit the top 5 in many of these and even went as far as claiming the #1 position in 7 countries: Austria, Finland, Iceland, Lithuania, Sweden, Switzerland and Ukraine. The day after the Eurovision Grand Final, interest in the Code was understandably high. On Sunday, May the 12th, the song garnered 3,756,700 streams on Spotify alone. The music video and the final live performance have over 40 million views on YouTube. Nemo themselves stated in a recent Eurovision World interview that the Code has unlocked me musically, suggesting that the song hasn't just been a hit with Eurovision fans, but has delivered something profound and eternal for the singer themselves. The code was something that we just couldn't ignore, a profound modern meditation on the challenges of finding your identity and truth in what can be a difficult and confusing world. Nemo has perhaps helped us to open our eyes a little wider and break our own coding about what gender should be, and we are all the better for it. If Eurovision is about finding talent, then Eurovision has surely found its next megastar. So what do you think? Was Nemo and the Code your winner, or are you disappointed that another artist didn't take the crown instead? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I look forward as always to reading them. Thanks so much for watching this time, and I will see you in the next video. But until then, bye bye.